The time is nigh. Open up your eyes to see the signs of the times. Got to be wise to all of their lives. Look to the skies from where my help comes. Wake up, got to wake up from the slumber. Don't let them pull you under. Rise up off the water. Never let them wrestle you into the mud.
Yeah, family. Greetings in the name of His and Her Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Empress Razira Menin, one perfect balance. Greetings and welcome to Politically Incorrect, where we get it correct. And if we're not correct, feel free to correct us. Yes, so we up and running tonight. Again, tell a friend to tell a friend. We in the building. Yeah, what I'm going to say now is real quick. We got a few things to discuss tonight. I can't believe my eyes. I don't know about you, but I can't believe my eyes. But we can deal with it. We can deal with it. We can deal with it. So having said that, we got some stuff to discuss regarding the solidarity allowance. Also, some resilience funds. We definitely got a message for the transport board for sure. And we're going to look at two things. The state of crime in Barbados. I got some video to show you. Well, two instances, really. The situation with the elder that got assaulted for the $300, which is funny, because if the guy is guilty, he could have waited for the $300 anyhow. That's another conversation. But also the robbery on Broad Street, the bank. We're going to take a look at who they're accusing for that. We're going to discuss it on a different direction. So in a different direction. So just my thoughts, man, just my thoughts. This is what I'm trying to show you, that this thing is happening for real. I don't know about y'all, but we got to pay attention to what's going on. We really got to pay attention to what's going on. So tell a friend to tell a friend, Politically Incorrect, up and running. I'm telling you, man, I noticed that a certain article recently that was published by, what was it? I think it was Barbados Today, regarding Mr. Frondell Short's message. Remember the video we played on Monday? Apparently, that has gotten a lot of attention. I don't even know if the DLP have gotten that much attention since probably Thorn crossed the floor. But Mr. Frondell has resurfaced in a way, and a lot of mixed comments about that. I don't know. Plus, too, I was told that today's news, I'll see if I can find it, that somebody won a lawsuit regarding some COVID-19 vaccines. Yeah, I think that's today's paper. But man, oh man, you cannot make this stuff up at all. So somebody, man, somebody stop me. Anyhow, go tell a friend to tell a friend. Yeah. Go tell a friend to tell a friend, man. This is crazy. Crazy. I just want y'all to pay attention to what's going on in Barbados, man. Just pay attention. Pay attention. So in the meantime, in the between time, I'm going to take a second right here to send a message from our sponsors. Meanwhile, you can go ahead and tell a friend that Politically Incorrect up and running.
Greetings, family. This is Indra, and you are watching Politically Incorrect. Politically Incorrect. Yeah. Politically Incorrect. Real news for the people in real time. Politically incorrect. Now you're reality from the royal elect. It's time to get in place for real news for the people in real time.
Yes, real news for the people in real time. Oh man, how everybody been doing so far? How the week is going, man? Tell me how the week has been going. Like I said, there's so many things going on, and you almost can't believe it. It's like I'm beginning to think that the news isn't always a good thing, man. It's just like really disturbing lately. Stuff you start to read, stuff you start to see, things people are talking about. I don't know what to say, man. But we're going to touch on a few things tonight for sure. Sure. So, having said that, I just want to jump right into it. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone for taking the time right now to log in. Pedro going to tell me about it here, kind of dark. How's the lighting, family? How's the lighting and how is the sound? Give me your thoughts on that. What's the lighting like? Is it clear? Because I have the front lamp off. If you need it, let me know. And I would sort out to suit if it's necessary. Let me know. In the meantime, I gotta give shout out for my family in Guyana. Greetings, all the family in Demerara, East Bank. Y'all know how it is. Shout out to the people down there, for sure. Monica, we see you. Good night to you too. Blessings and greetings to you and the family, for sure. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Greetings to you too, Sean. I see you. Greetings, Jackie Lynn. Good to see you. All the family in NYC. Tim, what's up, man? I hope I'm messing your schedule up tonight, but I'm glad to see you here with us for sure. Empress in the building. Good night to you too. I see the ghost is with us for sure. Good night to you. Good night. Listen, I want to shout out a lot of new individuals who are tuning in, who've been calling. Give me your thoughts. I really want to say thank you for being honest. I receive the honesty. I accept the, in some cases, some criticism, but also guidance is how I look at it. Because, a criticism isn't necessarily a negative thing. It is sometimes what you need to hear in order to position you to be better. So I want to thank everyone for sharing their thoughts as well. They give you money and take it back later. Sean, we're going to touch on that in a minute, man. Sean, don't even jump the gun. I'll give you plenty of time to share your thoughts on that for sure. Maureen, good night to you too. I'm locked on tonight. Miss you on Monday. I was here on Monday. We was here. I hope you caught it on the replay. I noticed on Facebook, the actual video on Facebook didn't even show up at all. But thank God for politically incorrect YouTube channel. So if you didn't get to see some stuff on Facebook, if it's not on my personal page, Emmanuel Barelia, if it's not on the Facebook page, politically incorrect, you can also check it on YouTube, because I find sometimes Facebook delete stuff and block stuff, and this one didn't even show up at all, but that's all right. So Maureen, if you didn't see it, make sure you're going to check it, because that was Monday night, and I saw Tuesday's paper was a bit of a kind of a follow-up on that same thing. So quite interesting. Greetings to you too, Pedro. Greetings. Eli, Rastafari. Greetings, family. We don't know. We got the sheriff in the building tonight. Sheriff, stick around. You're going to love this. Greetings from the office of the sheriff, MC 1215. That's right, sheriff. Hold tight. That's all right, Rhonda. Thanks to you too. Greetings to the family. Sharon, greetings. Shalom. Empress, Rhonda is telling you good night. Good night to the family, all in one space. Maria. Oh, Maria. Look, Maria is such a passionate woman. They write songs about her, man, in all kinds of languages. Maria. Oh, man, I remember that tune. Big tune. Greetings to you too, Maria. Shout out to the whole of Faith, by the way, and Barbados National Congress. I got some surprises coming for you all soon. I know I've been saying so for a minute, but trust me, I got some coming soon. Hopefully by the end of the week. In fact, hopefully by Friday, I can go ahead and do that. But give me till then and let's see how it works out, man. Give me till then. But having said that, we're going to jump right into the night's program. It's like, where do we start? This video here is not necessarily a new one, but it's a thought about something. Like I said, you heard Frondell speaking on something, and I'm sure y'all heard me speaking on this as well. And then what I'll do is I'll play both. I'll play Mia's position, Miss Motley, our prime servant's position. Then I'll play the one from Mr. Thorne. And and I'm doing this to create a balance, something temporarily, because I really want to go somewhere with it. But give me a second. Let me go ahead and drop this video, because I know that some folks may have seen this before or may have heard it before, but maybe not necessarily look at it this way before. So Let me go back to this briefly. So we're going to start and we're going to come forward. I see you, Frank. I see you. Greetings to you too. Greetings to you and the entire family. Thanks for locking on. Go tell a friend and tell a friend if you're now tuning in. Remember, this is real news for the people in real time. In real time. Let me go ahead and share this video. Okay. Full screen this. Okay, let me do the full screen. Okay, check this out. Let me put this on the screen real quick. I want y'all to study this thing on a different level, okay? And I want y'all to listen objectively, because I said there's some discussion about this before. And as always, everything, it comes up, then it goes down. But listen to Miss Motley's position on this matter. I want you to understand, this is what she actually said. And then listen to what Mr. Thorne said. And also, a few attorneys would have spoken on it as well. But I want y'all to understand, like I told y'all, Miss Motley is the best thing that has happened to Barbados. And I know a lot of folks take that the wrong way. But she is the absolute best thing that happened to Barbados. Let me tell you why. In fact, let me let her tell you why. Listen to this carefully, family.
Those people who had their cases dropped, 6 or 7 of them, I don't know the facts related to the same incident on Spring Garden. I don't know the facts.
No, she said she does not know the facts of the matter. But hold on.
But what I do know is that a country deserves an explanation. And to explain to the people why you would have now to drop the case against those 6 or 7 young men as they were.
Now, when I first heard the comments, it sounded to me as though they were suggesting that she was the one that got the cases dropped. Now, I don't know if that is indeed the narrative or not. What I do know, hold on, I'm putting some eyes in the sky here because I'm politically incorrect. Where are we? Okay, here we are. Yeah, got it. I got it. There you go. I see you, Daffodil. So I got the impression that all right. That was a close one. All right. So I got the impression that, it was like, I don't know if it was a case where, oh God, how should I put it? I don't want to call it misinformation. So I'm going to let the other video play first. But from what I'm hearing here, she's requesting that the people of Barbados need to be given an explanation. But hold on.
And I pray that the DPP will understand his duty to the people who he serves in that constitutional post. But I go further. I understand what you are feeling. And I understand that there are some who are so riled up that they may want vengeance. But vengeance does not solve anything, my friends.
So she called for an explanation for the people of Barbados. And that was what she was calling for, an explanation. But like I said, when I first heard this, it didn't sound that way at all. In fact, allow me to go to the second video real quick. Put this on a full screen right here. Make sure the microphone on. Hang on. Let me let this one here play now.
The minister has no right to intervene, neither publicly nor privately, into decisions taken by the Director of Public Prosecutions. The Director of Public Prosecutions has the sole and exclusive authority in relation to the initiation of criminal offences or the termination of criminal offences before the court. And the DPP owes no explanation to anybody. And the only person who the DPP may probably owe an explanation to is a court if there's a review. But the Prime Minister is absolutely trespassing on territory that is not hers. A prime minister cannot make a determination. A prime minister cannot question a decision of a DPP to stop a case, because when a prime minister begins to do that, a prime minister is a politician, and a prime minister's pursuit may involve political considerations. And the whole purpose of having a director of public prosecutions as an independent constitutional creature is that prosecutions must be saved from political consideration. If a DPP charges somebody, there's to be no political consideration. If a prime minister intervenes in the prosecution of someone, there are likely to be political considerations. There's likely to be bias.
Okay. So from what I gather now, the idea is that Ms. Motley questioned the DPP as to why he suddenly dropped this case out the blue. And now Mr. Thorne is suggesting that by her, she has no right to question the DPP. I even heard another lawyer, I think it was Andrew Pilgrim or somebody else, with a similar narrative. Boy, I tell you, boy. Anyhow, so my thing is this. Hold on a minute. Let me see if we get this straight. So what Mr. Thorne is suggesting, that the prime minister ain't got no right questioning the DPP for a decision he made. Now, don't get me wrong, family. I suppose it makes sense why certain agencies are independent and so on and so forth. But that does not put anyone above scrutiny. None. And I think what happened is that things had happened behind the scene, because certainly I don't think the white of Barbados was aware that that case might have been dismissed or dropped, or however term they want to put it. So it happened kind of for whatever reason. Her saying it brought attention to it and caused folks to say, well, wait, but I didn't even know they dropped the case. Well, question then, why they dropped the case? You know what I mean? So Mr. Thorne said he doesn't owe any explanation to anybody. The DPP, you mean the public servant that gets paid based on the people? Mr. Thorne, you're saying he does not owe nobody an explanation but the court, the same court that works for the same people? Make this make sense. You're suggesting to me that if Ms. Motley imply that some other behind the scene negotiation took place for whatever reason, you're saying that he don't need to explain to the people of Barbados why he chose to do something? You see, that is the problem right there, Mr. Thorne, and that's why you're in the position you find yourself. One minute you say you for the people and transparency, and next minute you covering for your colleagues. Now, don't get me wrong. I could understand why you would say that. But obviously, Ms. Motley knows something that she thinks the public ought to know. And clearly, you suggest that she does not meddle in the affairs of the DPP. But I don't think her position was to meddle in the affairs. I think you was trying to spin it. I think she was trying to bring the public to be aware that something has gone on. Not that she don't have enough issues going on herself. And we're going to address that tonight too, Ms. Motley. Don't worry. Today for Thorne and a few minutes for you. But the question is, did Ms. Motley bring to the public's awareness something that's going on behind the scene that might have some political implications into the fact that maybe the DLP does not want Barbados to know? I just asking for a friend. Just asking. What are your thoughts on this, peoples? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? I doing some photography there, but when them shots ring out over. I've never been back to crop over since. You was doing some photography near when the shots ring out. Look, man, that one there, boy. I watched a video from that with these same officers, man, did a man scruffy. Again, no word, no nothing. Just so. Greetings, Daffodil. Yeah, I sent you earlier. I didn't even see it came in, but I sent you and gave a shout out a long time ago, man. Gaslighting at its finest. I like that, Pedro. Night to you too, family. Night. Greetings, Mom, the matriarch. Greetings to you too. Greetings to you too. Greetings to you too. I said it 3 times for a reason. You believe the judge didn't give a reason? She's gaslighting the public. Well, I ain't saying not, Pedro. I ain't saying not. But I don't know if the public was really paying that close attention to that. I think she drew attention to it Even if it was political reasons, in reality, the fact is, if there's political reasons for doing that, then what does that suggest about the same justice system that should not be interfered with? So although you might be right, Pedro, and she might have been gaslighting, I'm not saying she wasn't, it was a clever strategy on her part. But then how is it that one party want the information to come out and the other party is saying that he don't have to tell nobody nothing? Let's look at this from that perspective, Pedro. What are your thoughts? The question of separation of powers is in question here. Well, I don't know if it's in question because, like I said, from what that clip said when she did say that on the platform, she suggested that the DPP would have had reasons for doing so and that the public ought to know the reasons. I'm just saying. And in fact, the same public is notified when things happen on page 3 of the media. So if they could say one thing in one way, why they can't say something in the other way? I'm just, asking for a friend. That was a political move. Yes, Ivor, I don't doubt it was at all. In fact, I think it was a very clever move by her. I keep saying these elections and whatnots, these are won by strategy, not emotion. So Mr. Thorne coming out saying that the DPP don't owe nobody no explanation and only the judge he have to explain himself to. But wait a minute. I would like to think that the people of Barbados, in fact, I'm going to make some statements a little later on that I tell you it going horrify some people, man. Really, because I'm beginning to realize something. I mean, I've been hearing it for a while. I don't always accept it, but I've been hearing it for a while. I'm going to pose that question to you and see what you think about it tonight. The PM asked for an explanation for the people as to what happened. That's my whole point. That is exactly my point. I think, Maureen, I think the same way. It sounded like she was asking, listen, explain to the people of Barbados what happened. Yes, it might have been politically motivated. I am not saying it wasn't. The point I want to make is Mr. Thorne loves to cause chaos. He jumps out there and said the DPP does not owe Barbados no explanation. This man worked for Barbados, and even if you think he does not owe Barbados an explanation, if a situation as serious as this occurred, and these individuals were the ones that they held for that, well, if these individuals were innocent, say so. Say how you wrongfully, say for a fact, if the police planted evidence or y'all investigation was flawed, and these are some innocent men, and y'all had to free them because the evidence didn't match the testimony of the officers or whatever, and let it be clear, even if it was political. But don't dismiss it through the back door quietly and then make it seem that, it was a dangerous thing for her to get involved. I don't think she got involved. I think that she was advocating for the people of Barbados to be aware that, the system may not work the way you think. Greetings, family. I've been checking to see if you were on enough times earlier tonight. I know. My apology. Gels, give thanks. How you keeping though? How you and the family? Ivor. Principle is principle. When it comes to politics, I don't think you could use the word principle. I don't know if the principle would apply to politics. They're saying she shouldn't get involved. I agree. But how is she involved, Pedro? Tell me, how is it that she's involved by simply saying, I hope the DPP is... Man, hold on a minute, man. Because other people heard Mr. Thorne's statements. Yes. I don't know if everybody heard hers. So I'm going to play that part again. Hold on a second. How you going to play that part again? Because tell me, Pedro, what you hear when you hear this here, Pedro? Tell me, real quick.
Those people who had their cases dropped, 6 or 7 of them, I don't know the facts related to the same incident on Spring Garden. I don't know the facts. But what I do know is that a country deserves an explanation. And to explain to the people why you would have now to drop the case against those 6 or 7 young men as they were.
Right. So how is she getting, how is this state, Ralph Thorne is the one that, well, let me not say that. Let me rephrase it. How is this statement to be interpreted as she getting involved when she's simply saying, well, I think you owe an explanation as to why, unless Mr. Thorne is aware of information that he may not want coming out as to why. If it's political, people saying it's a political thing. If it's a political thing, what it suggests is that the DPP is affiliated with the other party and he has done something nefarious, and therefore she's putting him under the microscope. Now, if the DPP indeed has done something nefarious, and Ralph Thorne is saying, well, DPP ain't gonna explain up to nobody, and so in other words, is he now then covering up for his political colleague that Miss Motley is bringing under the magnifying glass? Say what you like about Miss Motley, right? And again, if it is that the DPP in Barbados is involved in these kind of actions, well, the country deserves to know. There are a lot of individuals who are part of this bar, and I've called a few names on this program, who are involved in some unscrupulous acts as lawyers, man. And in some cases, judges know after their promotion, who are involved in a lot of land theft. Ask Jean Goddard about that. Ask the Kingsland estate about that. Ask Miss, should I call her name? Beatrice Henry, Viola Beckers about that. Ask Miss Stewart about that. Yeah. So we know, in fact, let me go one step further. Ask Caswell Franklin about that. Man, yeah. Tonight is dinosaur night. Ralph the Rat Thorne is an inside job. I would like y'all to stop referring to this man as a rat. I would like y'all to stop that. Throw out a sprat to catch a fish. I thought you was gonna say throw a sprat to catch a rat. I gonna behave. So Pedro is saying the PM brought up the DLP. Well, come on, Pedro. It is a political rally. At political rallies, you speak about each other. Did not the DLP speak about the BLP? So make it make sense. So it cannot be simply a matter of she brought up the party. She brought up a situation that questioned an individual and suggested to the people of Barbados that this man owe y'all an explanation. And like I said, prior to that, nobody, look, had Ralph Thorne not said a word, right, that situation would have died a natural death. Because Barbadians ain't really paying that kind of attention, not majority. But because he came out and defended it, it made people look at it close. I mean, you listen to what she's saying. Nah, she ain't covering. She not getting involved. She's telling Barbados to get involved, not on a political platform, ma'am. Why there? Why there? I mean, she could have said it in a press conference. She could have said it anywhere. The thing is that she made a valid point. If that's what's going on, then why the DPP? The DPP should say something, no? Or the DPP is above the law, Mr. Thorne, since the DPP don't owe nobody no explanation. He defending and don't see Barbadians as nobody. Cheese on bread. That's why we don't deserve it. We don't deserve nothing. We don't deserve no explanation. The same way you say you for the people and you want transparency, but not when it comes to the DPP, right? Family, see this situation for what it is. Stop focusing on politics, B and D, and recognize this is about something happened. Clearly something happened. Ross, you aware a statement was made for the non-prosecution? Of course, I was aware that it was very clear. I mean, the word case drop would suggest that, Pedro. What she's suggesting is that why should the DPP drop the case? No. Why you drop it? No. Why no? How she became aware the case was dropped. She's the prime minister. How you mean how she became aware? The whole point of being the prime minister is be aware of all things. I would like to think the prime minister is aware of all things. Pedro, what's your thoughts on that one? And she doesn't know the facts. Well, she said it twice. She doesn't know the facts. The facts that she does not know might be the facts that the case was dropped or why the case was dropped. You see, it's how you listen to this thing, family. We could pick a side, right? And then scrutinize it. Me, I ain't picking a side. I looking at it with a broad lens from left to right and saying to myself, wait a minute, man. I see what happened here yet. She exposed somebody. And somebody came to cover up for somebody who got exposed. But it's the same man that leading the Democratic Labour Party that claim he for the people and want transparency. It's a little tricky. It's a clever move, Miss Motley. It's a clever move. And Ralph is clearly not a chess player. He's a more checkered man, I could tell. In more ways than one. She also asks why the prisoner got away from custody, being seen at QE8 so easily. Well, these are all good, valid questions. I mean, if you got leg irons on, you can't run but so fast. Been there, done that. You can't go but so fast, and it's kind of difficult to miss. Unless, somebody throw you in a trolley, a basket, cover you down with some sheets and wheel you right outside. I mean, in which case, it's a very sophisticated operation with other intentions. How many times have this man flip-flop? Which man you referring to? Which man you referring to? Greetings, family. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Shout out to all my banner people, near and far, man. Why you always picking on Tom and the DLPT, Don Bread? Mr. Jilts, good night to you. Good to see you here. Well, you'll be surprised to know that I'm not just picking on Torn tonight. I'm actually picking on the BLP as well. You stick around long enough, I'll show you in a minute what's going on, man. It's because it's about scoring points with the people. Well, I don't know if it's about scoring points or not. What I do know, however, is that it's an interesting question. You eat it the way she served. You eat it the way she served it. Well, Pedro, you want to be honest, Pedro. It wasn't me that eat it, It was Mr. Thorne that jumped out there and said she shouldn't get involved. But again, she wasn't getting involved. She brought something to the people's awareness that something happened. The question is, why must that be kept a secret? That's what I'm more interested in. The why part, Pedro, not the what. All politics to win over the populace. You really think Miss Motley right now trying to win over populace? I mean, right now she called election in Barbados. Like, really and truly, who y'all feel gonna win? Mr. Thorne? Like, really? And in what capacity? Even if he was to get a seat. Like, who else getting a seat? Tell me. Michael Lashley, well, I think he flipped too. I ain't sure from what I heard. Ronald Jones, if he comes back. Donville Ennis. Frondell Stewart. Richie Hintz. I mean, Richard Seeley, sorry. Like, really and truly, who you feel like, they call election tomorrow. Y'all talking, man. I tell you, man, this ain't just politics anymore here. This is beyond politics. It's called the Barbados CIA Corrupt Internal Affairs. I tell you, man, it seems to me you are singing for your supper. Singing for your supper too. Why don't Mia do something about the crime that is what she should do? You know what? I like that point. I totally agree. This thing about singing for supper, though, I keep hearing people say you're singing for supper, you're singing for supper. I always wonder what that meant. You have an opinion against. The funny thing is, if you say something against somebody who have a liking to a particular party, their response to you is that you singing for your supper. Meanwhile, when they make the comment for the same people that you might be speaking against, well, aren't they too singing for their supper? I mean, if the idea of singing for supper means you speaking for a party, because I'm politically incorrect, anybody that's saying that tune is obviously new to this platform. But this platform is a BLP platform. It's not a DLP platform. It is a BNC platform, straight up. So let's not twist that in any way or fashion. Ras, the reason was given in court. Well, I don't doubt the reason was quote unquote given in court. If it was given in court, it's a matter for the court, and therefore then the reason that was given in court was satisfactory for the court. But then there's a question: Barbados don't have a right to know what goes on in court. Pedro, you're suggesting that Barbadians don't have a right to know what goes on in court? I mean, did it tell you what happened when a person gets sentenced? So what it can't tell when a person get released? Pedro, just asking. You defending Ralph Torn, Pedro. I know. I don't know. A song a little funny here, Pedro. Me smell smoke. Okay. Gani DPP is like him. Yep. I agree. Greetings to you too, Talma. Greetings to you too, and those watching from over and away. All the American people, all Atlanta, all my Maryland people, all my New York City, Brooklyn people, Manhattan people. Y'all already know upstate people, Connecticut people. Other states people, I won't call the states. She is a lawyer. She should answer she should answer for the file and go through it. She have the power. Well, I agree. And like I said though, in fact, hold on. Let me switch gears here real quick. I see where this is going. All right. Let me switch gears here real quick. We say that, right? Now check this out. Let me show you why. Should I do this one first? Let me do it this way. Let me go here first. Do this one. Now, you remember the gentleman that was assaulted a few weeks ago, well, last week, I think it was, outside of the credit union. That was the situation. He was assaulted. I had shown part of that video. I don't think I showed the video too much. I don't think I really did, but I might have showed a clip or something. And the elder, and I hope he's recovering. I hope he's much stronger. One of the things that happened at that point was that something came out in the media, and the police, and this was on Starcom, the police dismissed arrest rumors in Belmont Road robbery, urges public to stop misinformation. So some information came out that they had got someone that had shown a picture and said it was fake. But wait a minute. They say it was fake. But let me just switch this real quick. This is the picture that they say was fake, first of all. This is the one that said it wasn't true. This wasn't the gentleman, and so on and so forth. They said it was fake, so on and so forth. That's not what's going on. Okay. So that's what they say. And as if that wasn't sufficient, well, then out comes this one. Breaking, man charged for Belmont Road robbery of Jeffrey Barrows. Then the same fella that they said that they didn't have, that they said was fake, but wasn't fake. No, they say that he's the one. So I ain't really sure what's going on. I don't know if this is the gentleman or not. I don't know. I would hate to think so, because he looked like I don't know. And I really don't know. In Barbados court, a lawyer innocent to proven guilty. That's what it's supposed to be. So I don't know. But what I'm saying is that they indicate to the public of Barbados, the DPP and others, informed that this is the man they're charging. So I would like to think that if they reverse the charge on this man and they say, well, no, it ain't him, for whatever reason, Pedro, they gave in court. But the same way they put it out there, they can't put it out. Why would it take the Prime Minister to alert the public of Barbados about something that very many people were concerned about and were, might have been, traumatized by the event or whatever the case may be? And so that's my point. Why should she have to say something about something that most people probably didn't even know what happened? Pedro said it was given in court. I don't know if it was given in court or not. I guess, Pedro, you might have been there to know that. But, I'm just saying the white Barbados don't have a clue. Politically incorrect. I am ready to be live on this broadcast coming soon. Okay. You's a brave one, because a lot of folks ain't that brave. Valerie, listen, man. I asked about you the other day. It's good to see you. Greetings to you. Welcome to Politically Incorrect. I'm sure you will have a lot to say when you're ready. In fact, hold on a minute. But for the sheriff as well, the numbers on the screen down below. If we're not correct, feel free to correct us. But this is interesting, though. Like I said, it was first said it was fake, then it wasn't fake. Now it is affirmed. That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, a lot of things going on in BIM, and people are becoming a bit uncertain about certain things. So it's just a matter of clarity. Someone has a lot to answer for. She smells smoke. man, she knows something. Yeah, I know she knows something. You think me easy? She is the best thing that happened. And when I say that, right, people say singing for my supper. But those are people who are new to the platform, because the fact that Miss Motley is doing all the things she's doing is why Barbadians are now more than ever paying attention to everything that's going on in Barbados. And this is why I'm saying she's the best thing for Barbados right now, because she got Barbadians on their toes paying attention. And that's what we need. We should have been on our toes for the longest while, paying attention to what's going on. Up to now, you answered a question the other night, where the house is going. And trust me, I heard it was in St. Philip. So we'll know tomorrow what time it is. Because we're going to St. Philip tomorrow. So if they ain't moved the houses already, the aluminum houses, we're going to find them tomorrow. Not to mention, in fact, yeah, I could say it, not to mention the buses, the transport board buses. A lot of stuff is coming out. I tell you, man, I give thanks. Shout out to all the transport board workers, especially drivers, everybody for sure, but definitely the drivers. And man, oh man, like I said, I apologize the last time. I thought it was drivers that was part of the issue, but I realized that the drivers ain't really, well, maybe not all, but majority of the drivers, man, is look, full respect to the drivers, man, at the buses in Barbados, man. I telling you, I give thanks for y'all personally, man. Special thanks for y'all. But in other news, real quick, let me get to this other one first. You know, I can't believe my eyes, man. Yes, Ryan giveth and Ryan taketh. That's coming up soon. Hold on, Jokes. I got you. That's coming up very, very, very soon. In the meantime, I want to play this video here. Hang on a second. Because I myself could not believe it when I saw it. I'm looking for it because there's so many videos of trying to. No, not that one. I ain't even seen the video now. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not seeing the video. Is this it? Yeah. That's not. Nope, that's not it. This was, and this is the, no, that's not it either. Well, I'm gonna play that one as well, but I don't want to play that one yet. Maybe I should do this. Here it is. Okay. Let me go ahead and share screen. When I saw this family, I had a, you know, it made me wonder about something. Let me try to share this here now. Put this up here. Okay. Share this one instead. Full screen this, make sure the mic on. Well, I don't need the microphone, but I'll still put the mic on. Remember a few weeks ago, this would have been, I think, a Sunday morning. Let me show you the state of Barbados right now. Now, again, in Barbados, you're innocent until proven guilty. Innocent until proven guilty. So I'm not in no way saying that these individuals are guilty of anything. But what I want to say is that, yeah, though. So remember a few weeks ago, there was a armed robbery of a security vehicle downtown with the bank, the RBC bank right there opposite Parliament. Well, they apparently got some individuals as well. But this what got me. Check this out. Just check this out real quick. This is the situation in Barbados. I watched a man today, but I didn't actually see a man. But I heard about a situation today where someone, pretty decent status, was, you know, inquiring for food in Barbados. And the individual wanted 2 eggs, just 2 eggs, in order to get something to eat. Now, don't get me wrong. My thing is that, you know, couldn't even afford 2 eggs. It died rough in Barbados. Now, these are the 2 individuals they are accusing of being involved in the armed robbery. It's a husband and wife. a husband and wife involved in what they claim was, the guys went to deposit the money in the bank, and they're accusing these two individuals. Like I said, you're innocent. I don't know if they're actually involved in it. I mean, he's hiding his face. I would like to think that if you're innocent, one of the things you do not do is hide your face. In another video, she was hiding hers as well, but then it's like, you know what, whatever, man. My point is, I don't know if they're innocent or not. My point is, for a husband and wife to go out there, man, and this kind of stuff, that's how things going in Barbados family. Something is clearly wrong. And the brother said it earlier, why did me go and deal with the crime in Barbados? Mr. Jokes, let me go a little step further. It's not so much a matter of dealing with the crime in Barbados. Crime is, politicians invent crime. Crime ain't going nowhere. Let me just deal with that first and foremost. Crime isn't going anywhere. So long as there's poverty, there's going to be crime. First off, Mr. Jukes. So to ask any politician to fix crime is really and truly an exercise in futility. They cannot fix crime. Crime is going to be with us. What they can address, however, is the state of poverty, which is a first conscious thing, and also a conditional situation that is also socially engineered. So if they ain't looking to socially engineer a difference in the country in terms of developing wealth for the people so that the mindset isn't embedded in poverty, therefore they not be thinking about criminal acts. My brother, man, the politician can't fix crime. Ralph Torn can't solve crime either. So don't put that quote on me immediately that she's supposed to wear it is because it's her fault. It's happening under her watch. I agree. And the way to address crime is to address poverty, not first financially, but first consciously by empowering the people in a way to develop wealth. Because once you start to develop wealth and you got something to lose, most folks ain't thinking about doing no crime. But we ain't ready for them conversations because we're too busy on a whole other page playing political ping pong. BLP, DLP, BLP, DLP. And in reality, throughout the course of history, none of the two never did nothing for the people. It's always for the plantocracy. So unless you, Mr. Jukes, and whoever else supporting Mr. Thorne or whoever else supporting Ms. Smartley as part of the establishment plantocracy, then psychologically you're too immature to understand the political exercises going on and therefore don't even realize that you are being part of your own demise. Because the way to fix this isn't to support the politician, but to support each other in our endeavors and lobby on behalf as a collective body, like any other community in Barbados, just to name a few, the Muslim, the Chinese, the Palestinians, the Syrians, or whoever else in Barbados, to get things done. Because that is how you get it done. But by being divided and we choosing the illusion of choice between the two political colonial powers that they gave you to choose from, come on, man. Come on, man. Don't start me, man. This ain't that other program or the other ones. Don't do that. In fact, my number on the screen, you could call me all now while we on the live, man, and say and speak your piece. We could discuss this however you want to discuss this, man. Not an emotional thing, it's an intellectual thing. And if you're not going to be intellectual enough to recognize that, then nah, man, we aid and abet in this madness. Look at husband and wife, if they're really involved in this thing, think about it. I hope they ain't got no children, man. If they're actually, again, if they are involved in this thing and it come to show that with evidence, man, it's a thing where you got no study ahead, man. At least it didn't hurt nobody. No one was harmed. And, I don't know, man. Politicians invent crime here, family, is all I got to say. But speaking of crime and politicians, let me just jump to the heart of the matter real quick now. Speaking of politicians and crime, did y'all go and collect that $300? Did you go and collect the $300 is what I want to know. Did you go and collect your $300 or did you pass go and did not collect the $300? Did you collect the $300? Yes or no is what I'm asking. I see y'all tapping in. I see you. Now, hold on a second. Their hands and feet are shackled. How they get away? I see them myself when they go to the bathroom. A guard is outside the door. He have to pass other guards outside. How he get away? It's a question how he get away. Everybody want to know. Don't the hospital have cameras? They should have showed the camera on CBC if he was running to the corridors and let the people of Barbados know what's going on. Ralph isn't easy, I'm telling you, and he does be arrogant about it too. Rasta, you don't know. Well, I'm not sure I don't know a lot of things, first of all, and I agree with you. I really don't know. But I do have some questions, Mr. Jukes. I don't know if that counts for anything, because you're right. I don't know. I'm not afraid to say don't know. But I have some questions of my own. Don't believe everything you hear. That's a fact. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear, man. The PM don't give a damn about Barbadians. She knows all she have to do. Keep party them, shake them, keep party, let party them and let them shake them tail. I suppose that's the reality. Keep everybody, you know. That's what Rome did before that's what Rome did in the Colosseum before Rome was, looted. Mr. Storm still trying to find out which seat he will run for. He could win or lose. Yeah. Listen, Maureen, sorry about that. This is not a page where we pick on Ralph Torn or pick on Miss Motley. It's a page. This is where I give my opinion on certain ideas, things I see, and I ask you what your thoughts are about it. And I give recommendation in some cases, what I think my ideas might be. I am not against Mr. Thorne in any form or fashion. I have said that from the beginning. I'm not questioning Mr. Thorne as a man, but as a political leader that you want to speak on behalf of the people of Barbados, I have some questions for you that I realize most people are not asking you. The people around Mr. Thorne are all saying yes, 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 yes. But I got some questions for Mr. Thorne that I think are very relevant to his mission forward. In fact, I ain't going to say it. I ain't going to show it. I ain't going to just say it because there was an article that was in the paper, and I personally thought the article had certain comments, certain ideas, and I'll post part of it there right now. I thought the article was quite interesting. Politically incorrect. Post in a comment as well. My thoughts, but did y'all go and collect the money is what I want to, because apparently this gift horse, my grandmother always said, never look a gift horse in the mouth, right? But apparently you have a deadline to get this solidarity allowance. This allowance and indefinite. Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Let me answer this question. You got up until a certain, in fact, let me let Ryan tell you what's going on, man. Hold on. What if you like joking? Come on, tell him, Ryan.
If you have a bank account, you provide the bank account. If you don't have the bank account, they will send you the check. But this Barbados Labour Party will continue, ladies and gentlemen, to ensure that as we build more resilience in this economy, as we return pride and industry to this country we love, Barbados, that your interests, your family's interest remains at the center of the public policy of this Barbados Labour Party government.
I can't believe it. Let me tell you again.
To this country we love, Barbados, that your interests, your family's interest remains at the center of the public policy of this Barbados Labour Party government.
Center the public policy. Cammy is saying you way off tonight, young man. Cammy, I'm not sure what you're referring to directly, if it was the statements regarding Miss Motley and what she mentioned. Like I said, it's perspective. I gave my perspective, but you are free to tell me how you feel I'm way off. I'm always open to learn. Always open to learn. My number is on the screen. You call it, somebody will answer. If not, they'll send it to me directly, or you can WhatsApp a message. I would like to know your thoughts on that for sure. But give me your thoughts on this as well while you're at it, Cammy. This young man say, if you got the bank card, hold on, let me say that again, boy.
If you have a bank account, you provide the bank account. If you don't have the bank account, they will send you the check.
Okay, so here's the gimmick. We want your bank account information or your mailing address. We want to know where to find you. And it can cost us $300 per person for this census that we are doing, this secret census, where we get as many people that come forward and give us all the details we're looking for $300. Look here, man. I telling you, man. But hold on, wait. There's more. Because in order to get this money, you got to give me a bank account or you got to give us your home address. Otherwise, you can't get it. You can't come and collect it. We gotta mail it to you. We want to know you and how to connect you with an address. That's how they trap you into the system, the address. That's how they get you, man. That's how they get you. But wait, let me let him tell you the rest of the story. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. You got a certain time to deal with this thing, not all the time. But let me let him speak on this real quick. Hold on. There's more, family. Hold on. There's more.
I think we've had just about 17,000 people or so who have visited either the National Insurance or the various post offices. A significant proportion of that, almost 15,000 of those persons, were persons who simply had to update their address and information. And the reality is that there's really no easy way for us to verify that Ryan Strawn is Ryan Strawn, other than showing up to say, I am Ryan Strawn with my information, to say this is my new address in order.
I hope y'all heard that. I can play that again because, again, a lot of y'all think this is just money in solidarity. Come get the money in solidarity. Ryan giveth and Ryan taketh. I want y'all to realize what you're exchanging, the kind of information you're giving in, because again, politics is strategy. A lot of people are emotionally involved in parties. They have no knowledge of what politics is about. It's just that, my grandmother, my great grandmother, whatever, or some minister gave me a job, or I like this color, or I like this body, or I like that. Politics is popularity, and paper is a money game. And in this case, you have given over your personal information in exchange for $300. A lot of people didn't sign up for the ID. A lot of people didn't sign up or didn't pin their card. A lot of people didn't give the information. A lot of people didn't give in details. But once you 18 or over, we want to know who you are and where to find you, so we can plug you into our grid of data. Not for us, but for the colonizers who are coming. They want to know who everybody is. Remember in slavery, right? Let me show you all something. Remember during the enslavement period when they advocated for emancipation and they said, okay, we're going to emancipate the slaves. But guess what? The plantocracy said, man, you got to pay me for my slaves, boy. I ain't letting nobody go free just so I buy every single one of them Negroes. I buy them. So guess what they did? You had to send a report to England of everybody, name and age, of course, on which plantation, the address from where they were, in order to receive money. You had to give it in. And here it is now that Barbadians are lining up, in fact, to get this money. But in order to get the money, you got to give up information. We want to know. And like he said, hold on, listen again carefully, family. Listen again carefully, man.
We've had just about 17,000 people or so who have visited either the National Insurance or the various post offices. A significant proportion of that, almost 15,000 of those persons, were persons who simply had to update their address and information. And the reality is that there's really no easy way for us to verify that Ryan Strawn is Ryan Strawn, other than showing up to say, I am Ryan Strawn with my information, to say this is my new address in order to be paid. So we do accept that it has been a little inconvenient for a number of persons having to stand in line in order to get that process completed. But we believe that we've been able to see a significant part of that process complete. Even though we have allocated initially $55 million to the National Insurance to get us to conclusion, having paid 44, it means that there is just under 11 million more of the original monies to be paid. And I say to the agents, come forward, let us distribute that money, and if more needs to be topped up from the government to the NAS, we will do so. But we have really until June 30th for persons to come in, register. Now, with the National Insurance, there's a certain registration process for their systems to work. If you have the Trident ID card, it makes it a whole lot easier for us.
If you have the Trident ID card, it makes it a whole lot easier.
With the National Insurance, there's a certain registration process for their systems to work. If you have the Trident ID card, it makes it a whole lot easier.
All right, so I want to pause right there real quick. I want y'all to understand that once you go for this money and they put you into the system, from there on now, National Insurance have all your information. And the National Insurance Agency of Barbados is the agency that makes the money for the government off of you. Hence, it is an insurance. So now that you come forward and you get the $300 from the national insurance now has your information, and your information gets compiled in order to get these international loans from these world banks and IMF, because you become the collateral. You are the collateral. So when national insurance take out insurance policies on your life, and then you become on a life for some reason or the other, and they give you a little payout for the funeral or whatever your family, who gets the money that you were insured for? God knows how much it really is, because they're not going to tell you that. It's national insurance. The problem is that when we hear national insurance, we think it just means that you get a pension down the road. It's an insurance policy on your life, but you're not the beneficiary of the cash benefit. So the question is then, who is? Come out things, man. Part Winston is, I jacked that one tonight, man. Come out things, man. But they ain't going to tell you that. In fact, let me go one more step further. Man. Pedro, I saw what you said. I don't get grants nor funding, and I critique who leads B or D or an NP. You got special. Well, are you not special? I totally agree, Pedro. I got you covered, man. That's why I tell you, man. I understand what's going on clearly. See it from afar, man. But wait, Ryan finished Barbados. Ryan got a little more, man. He got one more. Now this right here is why I can't believe. E-Y-E. I and I can't believe this, man. That Barbados go for this at all. Like really and truly, man. Just when you thought he couldn't go any further. This is what Ryan does. Barbadians must plan for events that may arise. Really no. But wait, hold on a minute, Ryan. What do you mean by that exactly?
I want to say to Barbadians, sir, that risk-taking is what we do every day. And therefore, the extent to which one can mitigate against risk, sir, is important to understand and appreciate that as much mitigation as one can put in place, sir, you cannot totally eliminate risk. Life is a relay, sir, is a relay. And if you pass the baton in a worse shape, sir, than you receive it, then it means that you're not focused, sir. Not focused on delivering for the people of this country. And I hope, sir, that as we move forward, that Barbadians understand that this is not just a philosophical or political discussion. This is the lived reality of Barbadians.
The lived reality of Barbadians. Imagine that, right? What he's talking about is this thing that has been added to the, what is called Resilience Fund. As Resilience Fund, I think it is what you call it. I have it here somewhere or the other. That's not it. I have it here somewhere or the other. He has this thing called Resilient Funds, where now Barbados is basically tapping into, your national insurance or your paycheck, basically, to deduct some money from it, according to him, so that it can go towards things in case, things happen, events happen, or whatever the case may be. Let me get the little link carefully so I can tell you what he had to say. Hold on, let me go back here. I heard this. Let me go to this page real quick. So Ryan Giveth from Ryan Taketh. And we are just supposed to just, more than 45 million paid in solidarity allowance. You see, they give out 45 million in solidarity allowance. Meanwhile, Strawn is saying salary deductions to help build resilience. Salary deductions. Now, let me see this here clearly. Connell Jordan, that's his name. If I pronounce it wrong, forgive me. I won't mention his name too much on this program at all. Pedro said, Ralph right. When he's wrong, I'll say it. Pedro, I never said Ralph was wrong, Pedro. In fact, yeah, I agree. You said Ralph is right. He's saying that the prime minister should not get involved, and so on. Well, I agree with you totally. But I don't think she's involved. The case was dismissed. I mean, it was dropped. So what she's saying that you should pick back up the case, you can't charge the man the same time for a second time for the same thing. At least I don't think that's how that works. But I think she's suggesting that Barbadians should pay attention. It's interesting how you see in this thing though, Pedro. I may have to look at you a little different, yeah. We're not debating whether Ralph was right or wrong. In fact, I can care less if he was right or wrong. I can care less if she was right or wrong. But if it is that the DPP in Barbados dropped this case for political reasons based on a party that he might be affiliated with, then what is the, Pedro, you tell me Barbadians ain't got a right to know that? Just a question, Pedro. But nevertheless, this particular Mr. and the Minister of Finance, Ryan Strong, has defended the recent deductions taken from ordinary citizen salary, get it? And placed in the Resilience and Regeneration Fund as necessary for disasters response and household protection. So wait a minute. Somebody here help me, man. Maybe Mr. Jilts can help me here. You mean to say that the BLP, Ms. Tony Moore specifically, boasts about her role in this minimum wage? Colonel Jordan, I think is his name. I think that's his name. Boasts about minimum wage and also the increase in minimum wage and the increase in this and the increase in that, $2 or whatever. So only now come and have Ryan turn around and deduct something from your same salary you know get increase from. But this deduction in a one-time deduction, is it? The Solidarity Fund was a one-time allowance. But this deduction, is this deduction a one-time deduction, is my question. The minister explained that the updated contributions are part of the broader plan to build national resilience, particularly in the face of increasingly frequent, listen to this, increasingly frequent and severe weather events. This is the same government that built them little matchbox houses out of wood, that talking about particularly in the face of increasingly frequent and severe weather events. This is why I tell y'all, right? Don't come on here telling me the BLP and the DLP. This is pure foolishness right here. This is absolute foolishness. And Barbadians, I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. People used to always tell me that Bajans real passive, man. Bajans passive, man. Bajans was the perfect house Negroes, man. Bajans don't. The only people Bajans fight is each other. The only thing Bajans fight is each other. The reason why Bajans do not fight because they were bred to be passive. And I always say, man, dying through it all, man. But when I start to sit back and watch people literally watch this thing going on and on and on and on, like, how is it that they can get up in front of you, whether on a platform or otherwise, and claim all these things that we just did for you, the BLP specifically? And again, don't get me wrong. Let me say this right here, clear. You mean to tell me that you could tell the people of Barbados that you got them minimum wage, Miss Tony Moore? You could boast about getting that, doing the survey to realize that just to get by in Barbados, it requires $12.15. I think is what she said. That could be misquoted, but $12 and change. And you turn around and give $8.50 as a minimum wage, which means that that's still below the basic to survive in Barbados. And then raise it to $10 or wherever you raise it to. And then turn around and have Rand offer one-time solidarity, but in return, I can take out a resilience fund out your check towards the fact that, it goes towards, building national resilience. The broader plan, because of the increasingly frequent and severe weather events. Meanwhile, one man in Ghana got 500 homes to build for Barbadians. 3 little pigs out of timber and straw. While we experiencing more severe and more frequently increasing severe weather events. Like, somebody help me, Mr. Jukes, help me make this make sense, man. What are your thoughts on this? This don't make the sense. Barbados, BLP and DLP sitting and watching this thing unfold. This is pure madness. I mean, absolute unadulterated madness, man. Straight up, man. Straight up. Privy Council no longer holds the authority. Serious, man. I talk about the $300 that buy the election that cost the taxpayer $60 million. He said, talk about the $300 that, Mr. Kami, you obviously new to the program. I'm going to suggest you go, you like the page. Well, you're going to like it, not subscribe. But go click on lives, go through the archives about maybe 2 or 3 programs ago and watch the program on the same by-election. Go watch that one. Then you could come forward and then we can have this conversation again. Like I said, a lot of folks may come on and don't know the platform and think that I support this or I support that. I support the people in Barbados going and coming. Been supporting now since I've been back here. Straight up, 2 decades strong. 2 decades. I ain't never waver once. Whether BLP, DLP, that don't matter to me. If for the people, straight. No explanation will be necessary for those who know me. No explanation will be sufficient for those who don't, man. Keep believing the hype. Ivor Taylor said, no, I'm not sure what the no is for, but it could always enlighten me. The same man, the people did the police, the same man, the people did the police job. I am not sure, Stephen, but the first pick was not, okay. The same man, the people did the police, the same pick, okay, I get it, hold on. The same man, the people did the police job. The same man, the people did the police job. I got you. Ivor was saying, the first pick was not the man. Okay, you're saying that the first pick in the 2 images is not the same individual. You mean in terms of the pick that was covered his face versus the one that showed his face? If that's the case, that is exactly the same individual in that picture. That picture that marked fake, that was on Starcom. If that is the picture you're referring to, that is the second picture without the fake on it. And that is the same man because he has scars on his face. The same gentleman they have there in the picture walking the court that I could show you. It's actually the same individual, believe it or not. Upon further inspection, between the tattoos on his face, tattoos on his hands, it's the same body, the same individual, man. But anyhow, Mia had no right to call the DPP on or the Auditor General. Well, we could debate whether she had the right to call or not call. I don't think the issue is calling. I think what you really mean is that Mia should not try to influence. She have no right influencing the DPP or the Attorney General. But in this case, she wasn't influencing the DPP. The DPP already made the decision. She was questioning the decision, wondering, well, on what grounds? Now, somebody said it was given in court. I don't know. I didn't see the court papers. I'm just saying, the same way they give information about the same young man and how they put out information, they should put out information the same way too. If the folks were proven to be innocent, let the world know they're innocent. Don't hide it up. Free the people. It's not the first time the public was told it's lies that laid it down to find out all truth. It's a fact, Maria. It's a fact. Exactly. She has people waking up. That's my point. That's why I tell you, Miss Motley, keep it up, man. Met Barbadians scratch their head and realize that something wrong. I telling you something wrong. Look at Ryan right here. In 1 minute, he's telling you, yes, we give you this money, but you got till June to get it. But you better bring your ID and bring your address because we need to know that you is you. Otherwise, you can't get this money. And furthermore, after you get this money, I can deduct it from your salary from now on until. In fact, I would like to know how much money they deducted thus far. So they gave out $40-something million in Solidarity Fund. But so far, how much they collect in resilience? How much they collect? Because guess what? They collecting that from everybody salary, eligible or otherwise. That's like environmental levies at the port when you bring in stuff. Charge an environmental levy. Collect all 15% at that environmental levy. Where does all that money go? Don't tell me the tax will run the country. No, that ain't true. That's what they tell you. The fact that the politicians tell you that, you supposed to know that's a lie. Shucks. You supposed to know that ain't the truth, man. You kidding me? Run the country. Make it make sense, man. Not to mention, he mentioning the volatile fuel prices. Fuel going up right after you get this money. So like I told you, despite the fact that every Barbadian got this money, $40-something million, well, not every Barbadian, let me phrase that. The people, the individuals who went forward for the money, most people took that money and paid a bill. So tell me who ultimately ended up with the money. You might have got a little ease. You might have bought yourself a week's, because you can't buy no more than a week, whether gas per vehicle. Let me say 2 weeks for the sake of arguing. You might have bought yourself 2 weeks. You might have bought yourself a 2-week reprieve from whatever pressure you had. Only 2 weeks. You bought yourself 2 weeks. But who did this money really go to? Think about it. Who is going to benefit the most from this money? You are just the broker. They give it to you, and you're going to give it to Digicel, give it to Light and Power, give it to the gas station, give it to whoever. You only got a little week, 2 weeks at best. But that 47 million was pumped into the pockets of the private sector. Let me talk facts. One, two people might not need it, might put it down because they don't need it. So they might put it down. But for the rest of the Barbadians that going through it, man, that feeling it, that smelling hell going and coming, I'm telling you, man. It ain't easy, family. It ain't easy. It ain't easy at all. At all. But again, don't mind me. Don't mind me. But anyhow, in other news, real quick, I feel need just to speak on this briefly. Just briefly. Let me go ahead and check some comments real quick. This is what I want to put up right here real quick. This right here. Yes. Touch that in a minute. Hold on, Pedro. Oh, wait. She's speaking on a different level smartly, but some people don't understand that science. Facts. She expects to buy luxury buses for commercial use, just for venture, just for virtue signaling. Man, look, Pedro, I ain't gonna front, right? Man, the buses got charged. You don't run these buses in these hot roads, loaded with the people that have it in, drain the power for the bus. When the bus time reach a point where it need recharging, you ain't gotta park it and wait like recharge. So although you bring all these buses, they can't run all day. At some point, you got to park them to charge them. So once they park, what are people in Barbados going to do? Because if you're getting rid of all the old buses, the diesel buses, all you have to do is just put some more fuel in it, top it up, and you're gone again. Yes, I understand. I get it. But not all bus terminals got charging ports. And sometimes, my understanding, the charging ports don't even work properly. So you think the bus charging all along it there, but then you go and check it, and that ain't happening. Bus drivers, we apologize, man. But I think you're going to have to make a stance on this one and take a real stance on this one because, these buses are very good for your health. These buses are even, when you say buses are even good for your health, cold and hot don't mix. It gives you arthritis. Well, I guess you're saying that buses aren't good for your health. You come in the hot sun, you get any cold bus, and back in the hot sun. I understand. Ivor, you sound like an older fella. Ivor, that's not a young person name. But I respect the fact that you aren't. I see you. Yeah, we got it. We figured it out. But you got a point. It's hard on the joints for the elderly people. The hot and cold. Well, again, family, like I said, we see these issues. We, the people of Barbados, got to start looking for our own solutions because the politicians do not have no solutions for you. They have never had solutions for you. What they're building is an infrastructure for a new Barbados that you are not going to be a part of because it's going to be expensive. Clearly. Crime is money to the government. Ivor, I could tell you is an older fella, man. You know what's going on. I can see you know what's going on. She had 7 years to fix crime and do Jack sinking Barbados into debt. Well, to be honest with you, right, the debt and the problem, you know, is the mismanagement of the loans that causes the problem. Because you take the money for the infrastructure, you do what you're supposed to do, it's gonna work out. But when you don't do what you're supposed to do, let me see if I can find that article, man. In fact, let me do this first. Let me look for the article, Thelma. Let me look for it real quick. The Nation newspaper. Let me see if this is it. I'm gonna look to find it. I hope I can find it here. Let me see. Hold on. Let me. That's not the Nation newspaper. I'm looking for the Nation, man. I'm looking for the Nation because I saw it on the Nation, right? So I don't know if it's on the other media houses as yet. Probably not. Probably not. But I saw the Nation. I want to show you this really quick. Let me look for it. I wasn't planning on actually putting it out there, but since you said that, I want to put it out there, man. I want to put it out there. All right. All right. I ain't seeing it. I ain't getting a link. I ain't getting a link. So oh, I got it. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I could. Let me see if I actually. Nah, I ain't get it. I ain't got it. I was hoping to find it for you, man, but I ain't seeing it in the Nation News. Nation News. Let me see. Nation News Barbados. Well, that was easy. I ain't seen it, man. I ain't seen it. They didn't put that one up, strangely enough. It was on the front page of the paper, though, where they talked about a certain individual receiving X amount of millions for, you know, a contract. You know, to procure COVID-19 vaccines. You see what I'm saying? That is it right there. That is it. I ain't seeing it. But that's what I'm talking about in terms of what's going on in Barbados. Some of the things that we should pay attention to get a better understanding of this. A lot is going on in BIM. Some things are being said. A lot of things are not being said. And what perhaps should be spoken about. Silence. I tell y'all, silence is not consent. Thelma is not consent. Silence is betrayal. Sociology and perspective. Author Haran Lambus. Society needs poverty. The poor support the middle class. Facts. Narika. I'll tell you something, man. Sociology and perspective. You know, it's like what's that book called? The poor suffer. What is it called? And the weak suffer what they must. That's not a good book, Valerie. And the weak suffer what they must. This thing is not by accident, family. This is socially engineered, man. Crime and poverty hand in hand. Don't get tight with it. Did Barbados only have a prison from 2018? Wow. I like that. Perspective again, right? As if this is the first fella to get away. I got you covered, Maureen, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. I remember, in fact, them in some delicate situations here, family, real delicate. I pass go with flying colors. I like that. I like that. Tell them, Ross, talk the talk. Frank, look, man. I really hope people paying attention. That's all I'm saying. I want Barbadians. You don't have to think like me. You don't have to agree with me. Just want you to think. I just need you to think. Think for yourself. Analyze it for yourself and see for yourself and recognize that although the individuals who have the platform, I mean, have a wider audience, there are things they never talk about. Never. They only talk about one thing and one thing only. I wonder why, Pedro. So when you form this enfranchisement, you will still go to party like the special groups. Will that work? Wait, hold on a minute, Pedro. I know you're asking me a question personally. When you form this enfranchisement, you will still go, I guess, to the party like the special groups. Will that work? I'm not sure what you mean by that one, Pedro. Let's clarify that a little bit for me. I didn't want to misunderstand you. You feel me? Crime is incurable, but it needs a treatment applied, and government is not applying no treatment to the disease of crime of the state, corruption, racketeering, intimidation, murder, extortion, sedition. The sheriff on the job, man. The sheriff is on the job. They do not understand that crime is a business. You would not know that. Do you know a lot of things that go on in these countries that the government have a hand in it? Do you do your homework, read your history? Now, I agree with you, Richard. I totally agree with you. I'm fully aware of the government. In fact, the country was built on a crime itself. Full stop. Full stop. The country itself was built on a crime. Plain and simple. It was built on crime, man. No escaping that. I would address that in time. So that's what's going on, family. That is it right there. What is it? Pedro said, he said, no, you collect yours. Is that the $300, Pedro, you asking me about? You know, I ain't collect no money, man. They didn't even, during COVID, they didn't even stop by my house to give me a food basket. You know they went drive around, they gave out food hampers. People drove by my house, look at me and kept driving. I tell myself, but wait, what? They didn't even give me the option to say no. They didn't even give me the option to say no. I just, they had like, listen, don't stop at that house there, man. Don't give you that. Greetings and Godspeed to you too, brethren. Rastafari. 250,000 times 300. Do the math, man. Do the math. April Fools come around again. Who's interested? Who interests? I guess what? I got something to show you, Pam. Don't move. Hold on. Let me play this video for you. Let me play this for you. Hold on.
Thanks. Let's be very, very clear. This is about getting food and supplies, critical supplies, pharmaceuticals, etc., to persons within 48, 72 hours of major disaster. But it isn't only limited to emergency responses for disaster. It's also going to be for humanitarian crises. And I think in the speech you heard me speak about the utterly devastating situation in Haiti, where more than 1 million people have been displaced in the recent times, and where almost half the population is deemed to be suffering from food insecurity. For us in Barbados, that is a concept that we are not even familiar or aware with. We did the opening a few years ago, and this is also a position in Barbados, leveraging our geography. And I said then geography matters. And because Barbados is the most easterly, a judgment was made that given the fact that we are less likely to be hit than most, this is probably the safest place. If you have to wait on stuff to come from Panama, that's 1,200 miles away. If you have to bring stuff from Miami, 1,500 miles away. So having Barbados located along with the establishment of the fact of that SEDIMA has established itself here as its headquarters. Caribbean Institute of Meteorology and Hydrology is there in Husbands and St. James. This is just a perfect conclusion to what would otherwise be systems in there, ensuring now that it is not just high level and academic and policy, but it is also now about making sure that food can get to people. A warehouse on its own will not do that. Therefore, the connectivity, the digital connectivity is utterly critical as well. And then, of course, why is it at the airport? Because you're not only servicing Barbados, so goods are coming in and going back out. You would know, even from our own recent experiences with Barrel, how many ships went down.
All right. So basically, this is a facility that was recently constructed up by the airport. It ideally supposed to hold food and supplies in case of an emergency. Barbados can disperse this stuff from here throughout the region with efficiency. This is what we're being told is the point of this particular building here, and the collaboration with the agencies in letters, as you can see right there. Now, CDEMA is basically the Caribbean version of FEMA that operates in the United States. For those who know about FEMA, right. What does strong mean by resilient? Oh, 99 ways to rob Barbadians. Choose one. All of these yard fowls when their families could not get them in these prestigious schools. Barbados stop all of that. God bless. I guess my men low key Lewis, I don't know, launch, but you all have short memories. My man Salo, Lewis, I'm not sure, but no, you said that all of these yard foes, when the families could not get them in these prestigious schools, Barbados stop all of that. God bless. All right, well, hold on a minute. If you're going to be fair, right? I've said this before on this platform as well, and I'll say it again for those who paying attention, because we talk about Barbados introducing free education into Barbados, and I suppose the argument would be when your hand is in the lion's mouth, just ease it out. But although Barbados is hailed as this great individual, and I'm sure he did a lot of good for the nation as at his time, we got to understand that when he made the decisions were made with the direction of enhancing a colony. And although we say it was building a country, in reality, in what regards? Because we took a colonial educational system that was designed to prepare individuals to work as cogs in a system, and applied it to people who were prior to that marginalized and deliberately ostracized and left out of the system. So when they realized that the system was beginning to implode and about to explode, that we were going to start to do our own thing as a people, to create our own schools, our own systems, and our own business, what they did was the illusion of inclusion. They used men like Barrow, who had the people, to create a scenario and a narrative to include the people into the thing to make them feel a part of. So rather than going and building our own, we amalgamated, like Martin Luther King, into a burning, what King said, into a burning house. So Albar pushed for integration when he should have pushed for separation even more. Independence should have never took the form of integration. Independence should never have taken the form of integration. Because if anybody think that what Mr. Barrow did was greatness, if he had pushed for separation, we would have done greater as a people. We would be much further today as a people and as a nation than where we find ourselves today. And if anybody doubt that, my number on the screen, come on in, let's discuss this. We could even debate it if you like, because I could prove to you otherwise. So don't get me wrong. I suppose if that's, you told do your history, I totally get it. The reality, the fact is, if we look at this thing objectively, we don't have short memories. Those who want short memories, man. The rest of us know what time it is, man. We amalgamated ourselves and we got a lion into a burning house that is now imploding. You see, from 1966 to now, Barbados has been on the decline, and the wealthy have gotten wealthier. The plantocracy has increased its earnings, and whatever little that we had, we have lost slowly but surely, to the point where husband and wife got to tag team to decide to rob the bank deposits. Crazy, man. They say when you get something for free, you are the product. Sean, you is something else, man. Well said, Emmanuel. Now they use $300 to track everybody. Yeah, it was a simple, easy payoff, man. Collecting data. You have whoever paid them to collect that data, you have any idea how much money that they receive as a grant in order to collect that data to provide to the organization who funded the collection of that said data? Yeah. And if it wasn't Miss Mortley, it would have been Mr. Thorne. Because after all, a grant is a grant, right? Just saying. How much info did you have to give for the Trident ID or to open a bank UC account? Even the passport. The government already knows everything they need to know already. Well, we like to think so, that they know everything already, they got all the information. But because these agencies are all separated for different reasons, they actually don't have the information. They don't have it the way they want it. Now, although you may be right, Maureen, and you have a point. In fact, I told someone, we've been a cashless society since you had a bank card. Because the bank cards don't could go and simply tap on the machine, tap the gas pump, or tap here, tap there, and you go. You ain't got to exchange no currency. So in some instances, we already being prepared for cashless society because we are already to some degree a cashless society. So then what other purpose could the ID card serve? What other purpose could it possibly be serving? What other purpose could this data collection be for? What other purpose? It is to rope you into that Trident ID. Effective, I mean, that's what it's all about ultimately. Because when you ain't get the check that you was promised, you didn't get it yet. Strange, man. Some might get it. Some might. Well, bring your ID, we can put it right to the card. Put it to your bank account. Connect all the dots. Connect all the dots. The government can't call the bank and tell the bank to hand over all your details of every boy in Barbados. Well, that might be a little too obvious. Not me. I ain't want I ain't want to spell. I want no spell on. No. So not me. I ain't went. No way. I ain't want no spell on me. I see Elder understand the energy. I voice you overstand energy. I am alien because I'm not registering for. All right, Empress. I see you. This process is for the election coming up. They need this information. Yeah, they got all your name and address. When they send you a thank you card in the mail, with a little assistance, a little solidarity assistance. Said Maureen, that is if you are unemployed and went. Sorry, he said that is if you are unemployed and want the 300. Well, a lot of folks didn't really go for it though. The government collects all this money all the time. Richard, this guy is a joke. Ask him what he done for the people that vote for him. Nothing. Listen, puppet fools were not born, they were made. Wow, this guy is a joke. I guess you're referring to what's his name? Ryan Strawn. What he done for the people who vote for in fact, what constituency he's supposed to be in? He said, listen, puppet, fools were not born, they were made. I know something fishy is going to come out of that 300 situation. You're telling me. Another thing, Emmanuel, the government is tapping into dormant accounts of the deceased. So they get to see which ones are effective and who are ineffective, right? I guess they get to see who's who. A lot of stuff going on, man. It ain't just what it appears to be. This is as nefarious as Miss Martin mentioning on the platform about the DPP. If y'all think that was a slip of the tongue, you're wrong. Jackie, scene. Have bare pretty talk when it's time to con the people. Ryan Sean, what have you done for the people that vote for you? You are singing for your well, I tell you what, Ryan, I ain't know a boy. Ryan, you got going. What we did a program on Ryan before too. Ryan special, man. Ryan real special. Ryan Strong is a hypocrite. What, Mr. Jills, what constituency is Ryan Strong in? That'd be interesting to hear what his people have to say. May I have someone for that DPP job? Really? Well, if this DPP, or that DPP, for the concern, all is the same. So I don't know. I've been requesting the code of ethics for the DPP for almost 8 years now. I cannot see it yet. Well, that speaks for itself. Who appointed this present DPP to act? She casts in aspirations, which is dangerous. Aspersion, sorry, which is dangerous in her position. Now, I agree with you, Pedro. Totally agree with you. But here's a question. Does she have a valid reason to do so? Because if she does not, you see people at the bar came out and said something about that. Had a lot to say about that. She rocking the boat even inside the bar. I'm telling you, man. Miss Motley said the world is under a new world order. Maybe she's a part of the new world order, and these folks is part of the old world order, and in which case she could speak with that authority because they can't do her nothing, and she knows it. Give one hand and take back with the next. That's Ryan Strong for you, man. Barbadians have the right also to know what Mia and BLP are doing with their tax dollars. Am I right? Absolutely correct. Yeah, absolutely correct. But guess what? We must realize that although we keep saying Barbadians, the truth is only 40% of the people in Barbados came out to vote in the last general election. That means there's 60% of Barbadians who are registered that are standing by on the sideline saying, you know what? I'm tired of both of them, though. I'm tired of all of them. So rather than try to prop up B or D, the truth is we should be trying to find out what does the 60% of Barbados really want and focus on that, because that is the tsunami that is coming. That's why I keep saying Barbados National Congress, not a political party. Voice of the people, man. Let the people have their say. Yes, they are docile. They take foolishness and love suffering, Emmanuel. Something is definitely wrong. Boy, Sean, let me tell you something, man. This thing is like it's you who I got to keep an eye on. You calling for us to get together like the Muslims and lobby the said parties, which sound strange. Well, no. That don't sound strange, Pedro. It shouldn't sound strange. If you're hearing it and it sounds strange, what I'm suggesting to you is that in order to take and have the control we need to get things working in the direction we need it to work in, which is our favor, we need to communicate with each other as a governing body. As a governing body, we're then in a position to tell them what we want, and they have to put it in place the same way. When I use the word lobby, it's from a political standpoint, being politically, correct. Because in reality, we don't ask, no other community ain't asking. They're telling. But at the point where you come together, Pedro, and form numbers, you ain't got to call them, Pedro. Them just call you. Look, we want so and so and so and so and that we're going on. Then they go and lobby on your behalf and get it done. But I ain't got no problem you keeping an eye on me, Pedro. You're supposed to be your brother's keeper, right? Why would they make it readily available? Why? You know why, Valerie? They got a plan for people in Barbados that don't involve Barbadians. If she didn't know, why does she has an AG? Oh, speaking of that, look, Ivory, thank you so much. Wait a minute here, man. Wait a minute. Let me go for it. Let me get it. You almost forget, Ivor. I almost forgot. Now, I really hope I did not lose that page. Nah. I don't think so. I don't think so. All right, I didn't see it right there. I didn't see it right there. Man, I have another video to play, but let me see if I find it first because I ain't seeing it. There's just so many, right? I might close out. I hope I didn't close that one. I had a video on Owen Arthur that I needed to play. Let me see if I find it for real, man. I ain't seeing it, man. I ain't seeing it. I might look for that one for Friday night then. Because that was definitely worth playing. Not to mention Dale Marshall. And I gotta say, AG's got licks, man, because the reality, man, he's be quiet, man. Plus, you know, he know why he getting licks though. Nah, that was one. This was another one, but this might have been another one too. Let me see. Nah, that ain't it. I ain't see it. I know where to find it though. Don't worry. Don't worry. I can find it, man. I can find it. I can find it. I can find it. It obviously got misplaced in the loop, but don't worry. I can find it, man. I can find it. I'll watch the face. Close that out. Close this out. Close this out, man. Not a problem. Close it out too. And close that one out. Yeah, I had put it somewhere here, man. But this could be it. No, that ain't it, man. This is it. This isn't it either. All right. All right. That's all right, man. Like I said, man, I was doing some research the other night on Owen Arthur. I'll actually tell you what it is. And I was actually searching for greetings to you too, family. Greetings, welcome. Welcome to all, Mr. Drakes. I was actually searching for footage of Owen Arthur speaking at the UN General Assembly. Now, the reason I was doing that, because I was like, well, wait a minute. I don't think I've ever seen footage of Owen Arthur speaking at the UN General Assembly. So I was looking for footage with him, you know, just doing some research, checking around, looking around. And that video came up, you know, that one came up. And so let me see if it come up again. If I type in it real quick, let me see if it comes up again, man. Let me see if it comes up again. Because when I came across it, I was a bit shocked. I was a bit shocked. I was a bit shocked. I thought it was quite interesting. That's fate would have it, right? I definitely thought. This not the one I wanted though. This is actually more of the whole thing. I wanted that one clip. So I ain't gonna go through this now in the interest of time. In the interest of time. But yeah, I gonna leave this here. I gonna get back to this on Friday, family. I gonna pause this. But yeah, this isn't the one. What's the full thing? But I gonna get to it later, man. What about the self-employed who now has to pay national insurance as required by the PM? Again, all these are ways to rope you into a system to enslave you digitally. And once they have done so, they can get the money they want from the rest of the international bankers and whatnot. Don't forget, you can't get a loan unless you have collateral. And because Barbados does not have any natural resources, what do you think, or who rather do you think is the collateral? The people. 300 going to the rich and the poor and everyone in between. Yet some pensioners 67 years, as of the 1st of April, having applied for a pension, can't get it. Maureen, this is my point. If they were really about helping the people, it wouldn't have been given out the way they gave it out. It should have been a needs-based, something where those who need it gets it and those who don't. But to say you're giving this to everybody, there's a different reason why they're doing this. And so we got to realize that that's what it is, man. $300 less 20 to collect it. Oh man, crazy. And yet you still using fossil fuel for the charge. Using fossil fuel for the charge electricity, right? Yeah, interesting enough. And you got to charge, now you charging more buses than ever before, or charging more vehicles than before. It's me using more fossil fuel than you would have to. It's a real conundrum, man. If taxes run the country, why borrow so much? Very good question. Very good question. Especially when they print the money anyhow. Barbados has a lot of natural gas. Why not buses that work on natural gas? What you all going to do with those batteries when they are no good? May do your homework. Man, Richard, you've been on this program before. We had the same conversation a couple nights ago. Not just the buses though, Richard. A lot of these hybrid cars that they're coming in Barbados as reconditioned that got 5 years already that they're selling Barbadians. A lot of people bring them in to sell Barbadians. And guess what? Barbadians buying them up. The problem is in a few years when them cars die on you because the battery exhausted because of this heat. Family, we got to get wise. Family, we got to get wise. Why not borrow? You have to pay back more than you borrow. Make it make sense. When you borrow, you have to pay back more than you borrow. Make it make sense. Man, look. Barbados National Congress, man. Give thanks for people here that make sense and see what's going on. The government has a spending problem and you need US dollars in order to import stuff, which is called import cover. Well, I don't know about that. If taxes run the country, why borrow? Yes, they should talk about the 14-page obituaries in the Sunday Sun, filled with more young than old people, filled with more young than old now. You serious? I didn't see that one, Empress. I got to pass and collect that paper from you and see what's going on, man. Look, if I go through these comments, I'll be, wait, it's after 12? Oh, hell no, people. Can't be doing this. All right, be up out of here. All those monies and went missing in the various departments. You had your heartstring about them. Wait, hold on. All those monies that went missing in various departments. Well, we spoke about that we spoke that on Monday, Ivor. We spoke with that Ivor on don't hear about them anymore. Now we spoke Monday, Ivor. Check the program we did on Monday. We discussed the audit to general report on Monday in part. Just in part. But you're right. Boy, don't talk the money missing for the last how many years. And these departments that not giving an account and feel comfortable not giving an account. And if you ask questions, they look at you like you strange. Why you asking what the money for? You don't trust us. It's like, really? It's all an illusion. Government try to appear that they care, but the people care about the people, keep the people impoverished all by design. The time is brewing. Keep your eyes wide open. Straight up. They'll be doing distribution on not Barbados. Facts. And I think all islands should have their own supplies on island. Well, you know, when your enemy start to feed you, Pedro, what they say, right? That is the gospel. Because Grantley Adams would not do that. Are you all better off now? Well, I don't know if they're better off or not. When should have stayed a colony. Pedro, you funny, man. Should have stayed a colony. Pedro, this is a colony. What are you talking about? We should have stayed a colony. We never stopped being a colony. How it stopped being a colony, but it's still a colony? Pedro, what you talking about? Should have stayed a colony. You being funny, Pedro. You being facetious, man. Stop it. Some things going on. Same thing going on in the USA. Listen, family, tell a friend and tell a friend, man. Barbara had a plan for Barbados. What Mia have? She win the government and still don't have a plan. Listen, people, promises are comfort to fools. Serious. Or is that they want to find out how many are still standing after their jobs? Serious. Christchurch, East Central. Oh, he's Christchurch, East Central, Ryan Strong. Mia and Ralph Thorne, it cut from the are cut from the same cloth. They all cut from that same fabric, man. That old plantation dungaree. That's what it is, man. That old plantation dungaree. I know you have to lobby them. However, you keep saying forget the parties and deal with your own issues. I call that double speak. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting, Pedro. Perhaps you're right. It might be double speak. But if it's double speak, it's because you missing the part when I say Barbados National Congress. You keep missing that. You keep missing that. I don't hide that. That's where I stand, man. I stand with the people. Barbados National Congress all day, every day. Why were you shocked? I ain't sure that was referring to me. An open one like and Grilla. I'm not sure. This a direct conversation or something else, but Richard, you all are looking for Ralph Thorne the wrong way. You all do not understand. Ralph is a politician and he speaks the truth. Remember, Errol Barrel and Cameron Tudor did the same thing. Ralph Thorne is a politician. He's not just a politician. He's a King's Council veteran politician. Pedro, I don't know, man. Let me stop it. But anyhow, family, I gonna run up out of here. I didn't realize the time was that advanced. However, there is, for the sake of Kaiso, and I know Kaiso, man, but I know that there was somebody sent. Wait, hold on. Somebody sent me a link. Somebody sent me the link for this guy right here. BLC must come out of hiding. Pedro, look, man. I listen, Pedro. In reality, right? The revolution will not be televised, man. You will only see it when it is too late. Just keep that in mind. But I like Pedro, you is something else. But I got tune for you, Pedro. I got tune just for you, man. Just for you, Pedro. And again, I ain't Kaiso, man, right? But I was told they banned this guy from the radio, CBC, and I guess a few other media houses, whatever. But Spot the Light. Now, my thing is this, man. The day, right, that a politician look you in the face and catch feelings about the fact that you can see that they don't have a clue what they're doing, and what they're doing is for the interest of the plantocracy and not really for you, and then try to look at you with a straight face and act as if you don't really know what's going on. You should not be insulted. You should feel sorry, realizing that they really believe that, like they really believe that all the people are under their spell, because they themselves might be under the spell. You see what I'm saying? So you can't even fault them, man. You can't even fault them. So you got to realize that, man, they don't know. I say they don't know. They see me smile, but they don't know what we feel inside. Don't spot the light on me. But Pedro, well, if I spot the light on you because you spot it on me first, I'm just the mirror. I'm just the mirror, Pedro. So realize if the light spot on you, know that you spotted on me, and all I did was reflect it. I reflect what you see. Straight. Having said that, family, Haile Selassie first, Empress Wazira Menin, one perfect balance. Thanks for being here. Make sure you tell a friend and tell a friend. Tune in on Friday where we have some more information. And you got to see this video with Owen Arthur and the present Attorney General. Stay tuned Friday for that. If you know him, tell him lock on Friday too, just for him. Just for him. Just to show you this thing from way back. Like, man, they just forget, man. They just forget. Dale Marshall, I ain't forget though, because, you know, I've read some of the documents with your name on it involving that case. You know, that case with Mr. Hal Gollop and George Payne. That case. I read some notes. I see what you wrote. I'm telling you, man, y'all, man, y'all got to be under a spell, because if you really think that people still sleeping, man, y'all, I don't know what to say about y'all, man. Nevertheless, I can play this tune for the sake of the people, for the sake of the writer, the gentleman classic. I don't know him, but we can do a service here tonight. Before we go that way, though, hold on a second. Is anyone here tonight? Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Jackie might know. So I have an idea, family. Question. And I ain't just, you know, so I was thinking, right, that I should, I don't have the copy of it. If I had a copy of it, I will show you how it looked. I don't have it. But is anyone on here aware of how I can get some mugs? Someone said to me, hey, Emmanuel, why don't you get some politically incorrect mugs? You know, I said, well, I never thought of that. You know, we have the shirts, you know, but we don't have the mugs. So what do y'all think about that? Pedro, you want politically incorrect mug, you know? I don't know. Tell me y'all think about that, man. What y'all think I should do? Politically incorrect mug? Let me know, man. Let me know. Let the people know. Spot the light, man.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Aye, aye, aye. Oh, yeah, yeah. Aye, aye, aye. Well, up. Can't drive on the road at night, cause you come with your light so bright, like you want blind me for spite. It is overbearing. Me and you never had no war. Why you spot the light on me for? Is it accidental or you just so uncaring? Every day you bout me complaining all the things that ain't going right. From now on I will be explaining which place you could spot the light. Spot the light in the parliament and see who is looking out for you or fairly fooling we. Spot the light the right places and find out who is on the people's side and who's selling out. Don't spot it on me, you joke. I don't be at no port when guns coming in. I am sure cowboys and Indians, no, don't spot it on me, you idiot. When taxpayers' money waste, don't spot it in my face. You better spot the light man who run the place. I don't run the government. I know if the computer, don't spot it on me, Bozy. Spot the light man the DLT. Oh yeah. Aye. Well, up. Blinding you with the LEDs. Them that are doing as the please. And then tell the authorities I feel violated. Go stop them in the treasury. Then you will see if the economy living off borrowed money that IMF dictated. Light is a great disinfectant. Use it, don't abuse it at night. Cause all that hide in the darkness must come out in the light. Spot the light in the board meetings and see who is representing you or the rich minority. I want you spot the light the right places and find out who is standing up for you or just running them out. Don't spot it on me, no way. I don't have any clout, no power, no say, but hey, and I ain't got no land to give away. Don't spot it on me, you idiot. One for you, another one quick. Don't target me one bit. You better spot the light on the cabinet. I may drive and get annoyed check my front and touch your boy. Don't put it on me. You insane. You spot the light in the wrong lane. Why, aye. Walaka. When you see me on the road at night, make sure that you dim your light. I give you valuable insight. Time for activation. Aim the light, aim it all about. Human cockroaches running out. Places you would never dream about. Need illumination. Wickedness reside in high places. Time for you to make wrong things right. Corruption is hiding in dark spaces. In Barbados, let there be light. Spot the light on the police, you can choose. Some are real professional, some protect their shoes. Spot the light in the courtrooms and find out why them hardened criminals out here walking about. Don't spot it on me, you're free. I can't give a big speech, I've got the whole world, so I'm based. All know I still getting praise. Don't spot it on me, you're free. I ain't looking at the George Street, I know who get cussed or beat. Spot the light out in Robert Street. I never tried to meet with Trump or get sick, fill up not a jam. Don't spot it on me, you're good. Spot the light in El Arafat. Crime out here getting worse. Spot the light on the AG first. I ain't laughing out none. Spot the light on the Kaisoyan. Admiral might agree. Spot the light on my friend Gabby.